Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Hoops and Football. This one will be a sort of, it says victim of circumstance, and what I actually mean of the victim of circumstances are players that probably have the talent to become a AFL player, but may not make it due to Richmond's large amount of draftees that have come in the past 2 years that may, maybe force them out of the team. So I thought I've got a few names that I would like to discuss that will, and the whole point of it would be they have to have a sort of a big year, or there's a chance that they either A, don't get a new contract, or B, they are traded at the end of the season to another club to give them another chance, obviously, elsewhere. But, with the Lawler, Houghton, Taj, Jonty, Harry Armstrong, Sam Grill, Sam Cumming as well, even Zane and Noah, they've all been praised quite highly. And there's a chance that, considering some of those players are dual position, that it might make it harder for players who aren't sort of dual position and really only are playing in that position because we need them to be there or we need to fill a spot. So I thought we'll sort of break it down a little bit, player by player, who the player is, and why I think they will struggle, or why I think they are a specific player that will need to have a big year to at least get another 1 year contract or get a chance of playing somewhere else. So first player right at the bat who signed a 1 year deal is Caleb Smith. Now he has come back pretty jacked this off-season, as we've all seen through the photos through Richmond Football Club. Why I've gone with him as one of my players is I'm just not sure he can play AFL, and I definitely think the games that he has played, I've loved what he brought. We know he can get a lot of the football, especially when he goes to the VFL. He does it really well. I'm just worried that he's going to find it very hard to get into the senior side with seeing how he plays. You've just now brought in Sam Grill, who will play off that halfback. Josh Gibcus is looking quite ready to go as well. Luke Trainer's there as well, so I'm just not sure if there's going to be a position for him to fill. Not sure if he can play another position. He is very much a defender. They could try him on the wing. He does have the running capability. I'm just worried that if he doesn't break into this year's team, I just don't think he's going to get another contract next year. And I do love what he brings off the halfback when he's playing in the VFL, that running, dashing, the dare, the kicking ability as well. Racks up disposals quite easily in the defence. I think there's a few games this year where he had like nearly 30 disposals every game. And that was a bit of I thought he would have broke in a bit more. Even when we had some injuries, he still didn't get in. So the other one was another one is Steely Green, a small forward. Last year he started off quite good, then had a real big slump. I had been saying that I think he needed to go back to the VFL just for a couple of weeks to get his confidence back. And then he did go back to the VFL, and he had a couple of things, like 3 games where he actually averaged 2 goals a game, and he came back and did well. But then he dropped off again during the year. So I am a bit concerned that he does bring the pressure. He does have the pace as well. But as a small forward, he doesn't seem to bring that scoring impact that we do need from a small forward. And they've just brought in Zane Piker and Noah Robert Thompson, who are both known for scoreboard impact as well, and high pressure, high speed, and tackling as well. So as much as I like Steely, he kicked some incredible goals in the season of 2025. I think he'll be another one who will need to have a big year to really secure another contract to go on. I believe he's also out of contract as well, so that's another one that's going to be as a hard one as well. So there will be a fair few players. There are a lot of players that need to have a big year, I think, before we sort of know who they are. And some of them are coming up to that 3 or 4 years, which is what the average of a AFL player is as well. So next player I've brought up is Tyler Sonsie. Now this one will be a big opinion of a lot of people. Some people are a Sonsie fan and some people aren't. Now why I've picked Tyler Sonsie as another prospect of struggling this year, he was very close, I think, to not getting a contract. if he doesn't play in the midfield, which we know he does when he goes into the VFL, and he racks the disposals, and he kicks goals as well, he's very hard to break into Richmond's midfield team, especially now. We've just drafted 2 more players that have a chance of being an elite midfielders. I think it's the defence is a bit of a struggle with him. I don't think he's quite clicked on it. He did a little bit after that sub-off against Essendon when Uze came down and spoke to him. And then he seemed to have sort of worked it out then. He does bring an elite kicking skills, which we do need. But now he's going on to a 1-year deal, which means he's probably right at the end of his 4 years. I don't think he's a half forward, and that's sort of what I mean when I was saying that what players are playing in positions that aren't meant to be what you brought him in for. He wasn't drafted as a half forward. He was drafted as an elite midfielder who has an elite left foot as well. And I just think he's not playing in his position. And wherever he does play, if it's not in the midfield, he doesn't seem to own that spot, even just for a little bit until, sort of he can build himself up and eventually move into the forward line, which is also what we want from Sam Cumming and a Sam Grill. They play in a certain position for a while until they build up, sort of what we're doing with Lawler as well. So that's another one. I hate to say this one. I'm a McKelty Lafau. Nothing to do with anything that he does as a player. I think when he has played, Richmond's brought in a lot of tools. So that's the thing I am worried for him. I know he's had a lot of injuries, and then they might want to try him again as a backup. But this seems full Armstrong, the tap as well, Liam Fawcett. I just don't know if there's going to be another spot. Is there going to be a spot for him? Like, maybe only other I can think of is why you would keep him is if Lynch retires at the end of next year, and I think we really need him to stay. He might have to take that number 1 tool, just because he's got the bigger body, unless they reposition him as a ruck. So I really do struggle to find a position for the foul just because of what we've drafted in. And we've seen some of the pictures and videos of Fall and Armstrong, and they're both looking like they've put on a few kilos of upper body strength as well, so which means they might even come back better and stronger this year. And that's a bit of a worry for him. So Liam Fawcett will be another one. He did bet on himself for a 1-year contract, which I do respect. I really would love for Richmond to give him a couple of games in the AFL just to see what he does, because he didn't get much in 2025. He got that 1 game, and then Tom Lynch came back and he was straight out. He's a very big boy. And I got a big kick. We do know that. He can mark. He's had a bit of bad luck with injuries. So, yeah, it's hard with him. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a player that we trade next year. Maybe even to Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide doesn't seem to have any tall forwards. You could send him over there quite cheap as well. James Trezise is another one. I just don't have a position for him. Now, people will say, well, why can't you play him on the wing? It feels like Richmond really drafted and picked up a couple of players in the pre-season, the trade, to sort of fill that role. Hugo Ralph-Smith, Patrick Rechko. There's a possibility, you could swing Sam Cumming as well. So Sam Cumming and maybe even Sam Grill onto the wing. There's been Noah Roberts Thomason has been a wingman as well. Zane probably could because he has the speed and mobility. I like Trezise. I think he's probably done it the hard way, especially he's worked his way through the VFL, worked really hard. Ooze does love that left footer and right footer on one on each wing to sort of complement each other, but it just doesn't seem to lock down his spot. So that's another one as well. Look, and Nathan Broad won't be a player. I will bring him up anyway, only because he's going to call at the end of the year of 2023. So somebody will have to fill in that spot, but I think Richmond really has that pretty well filled out. So I think Samson Ryan is another one. I just think he's got this year has to be his year. He needs to show a lot more than he has been because he's at that age now. I think he's 24, 25, where Ruckman should be showing what they're made of and what you're going to see for the future. And right now we haven't seen enough glimpses of that for me to see him getting another. I know he's got another 2 years, but you can let him go. We've seen clubs previously do it as well. So I just would not be surprised if we don't see Samson Ryan hang around for much longer as well. So, Judson Clark, I'll quickly touch on him. I don't think he'll go out from the circumstances. I think it might just be injury. I'm not sure he's going to come back 100% from that three ACLs as well. So that's a real big one for me as well. That I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hang on much longer. So I've got the last three I'll talk about are probably a bit of a touchy for some people, just because of who they are. But my other one of them is Jaden Short. Now, Jaden Short's still a very good player. He sort of had that real bad string for a while. Then he got injured, went to the VFL, played midfield time, got his confidence high again, and he came back and did really well. I'm just not sure he needs to be in that back line anymore, considering you're going to bring in a Sam Grill who's going to replace him as well. Luke Traynor, Josh Gibkiss as well, who are all firing to play in that back line. Ooze has already said that Luke Traynor will be a backman, and he plans on sticking him there. Noah Bolter will stay as a backman, so the only way I think you could see him staying a little bit longer is redeploying himself as a forward, and I really would like that, just for more experience in the forward line. So it's not just Tom Lynch and that's it. It's Tom Lynch, Jaden Short, and then, when you swing Hopper and Taranto forward at times to help out. So now the other one is Jack Ross, because why I say Jack Ross, so it's probably a good one to explain it, why I think Jack Ross will be a victim of circumstances, because you already have that inside big body mids in Taranto, Hopper. Smiley's meant to be coming along, and Sam Lawler as well. You'll have your outside players in your Taj Hott and Sam Grill, and a bit of Sam coming as well, just because they all three of them sort of have that good burst of speed as well. He's not a half forward. I know he's been playing that position. He's not a half forward, and nor is he a wingman. It doesn't suit his game style. He was a under 18s really good midfielder, and that's where he needs to be. He's probably one of the players I think the club should, if they do not think he's going to be the next there for the future of the midfields, I think you look to trade him. I think a Collingwood would love to have that big body mid. It's 26, 27, so he's still got plenty of time. He's just coming into his prime as well. They've got an aging midfield, so any teams that have sort of got that real bad aging midfield that sort of need to rejuvenate it to keep themselves going, Jack Ross would be the guy. He just doesn't have that running capability to be a half forward. So that's one. And the last one will be Dion Prestia. I know people go, oh no, not the meatballs. I think at the end of the year, and maybe even halfway through the year, it might be time for Meatballs to call it. I know some people will want to say we want to keep him around a little bit longer. I think you keep him around to the end of the year, turn him into an actual development coach or a coach. But in the meantime, whilst he's still playing, it'll be time for the club to not have Hopper and Taranto and Prestia all in the midfield at the same time. In my opinion, it's time to put in, say, Dion Prestia with a Sam Lawler, a Sam Cumming, or a Sam Lawler and a Taj Houghton, or a Sam Grill. Allow speed, the big body mid, and then, we might lose the games, but then you can have Prestia after they make a mistake. This is what you did, this is what happened. This is what we need to do next time when it happens to counteract it, and use his footy IQ, because he is a very good high footy IQ player. And I think why I wouldn't give him another year is because it's time to, sort of what we do with McIntosh, it's time to let the older boys go and allow these younger players to come in and start to flourish in the game and give them more midfield time. Otherwise, they're not going to get where they are. We need to get a lot of these guys higher in their games, total games. We need to get them towards that 50 to 75, pushing towards 100 in the next few years. Otherwise, the bounce back will take a lot longer than we want it to. I think we all want to sort of be back playing finals wild card technically, by 2027, 2028, right when Taz is sort of coming in. So if you guys think I've missed anyone through the sort of victim of circumstances, and maybe give me a reason why and who, sort of what I've done here is why I think they won't get it, maybe struggle to get another chance next year, and who they are as well as hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel. I do appreciate everyone. It is coming up to the holidays as well for Christmas, so please stay safe, guys. It is getting crazier. As always, stay safe and go Tigers.